Sometimes there are games you encounter that just feel like they've put themselves behind the eight ball for some inexplicable reason, and are then unable to get out of their own way on the path to success. In my mind, Timberdoku falls into that category, coming to the eShop with a pleasant wood grain look, and featuring a slightly different feel than normal by mixing elements of Tetris with a bit of Sudoku as well. The result is absolutely a step away from what you'd typically expect, but I'm not sure that inherently makes for an improvement. The basics of how you play are quite simple. You'll start out with a grid that can sometimes have a variety of gems placed around it, and your goal is really just to survive as long as you can. Throughout the game, you'll continue to be given pieces to work with that you'll need to place on the board. In order to be successful, you'll have to pretty consistently work to complete full lines or blocks of 9 to clear that portion of the board. Once you're unable to place any of your pieces, the game will be over. Where I think the game goes wrong is in how rigidly it forces you to play. The key aspect of the game I couldn't believe was true, and significantly increases the challenge level, is that you're unable to rotate the pieces you're given to work with. While perhaps some may appreciate the difficulties this creates, it's also a big piece of the picture for how the game lost me. A key issue is that the pieces you're assigned can vary quite wildly and include both very long straight strips that can be as long as 5 blocks and pieces that are plain bulky. The problem is that they're randomly assigned, and yet a single piece can so easily sink you unless you're constantly trying to simply keep the board as empty as possible. But with so little flexibility on how you're able to place pieces, you're generally prone to creating gaps you won't be able to close without clearing some other rows. I continued to find this problematic, with your fate seemingly dictated far more by the whims of fate than skill. Yes, if you work hard, you'll be able to make tough but wise decisions on where to lay down pieces to help you dig yourself out. But that still doesn't mean that a bad placement or two can't sink your current run completely. I understand that the game is meant to be challenging, but its method of being that way feels too cheap and that it isn't really earned, making it tough to recommend. Overall, my final score for the game ended up being a 6.2. And if you're interested in picking it up, it's currently available on the Switch eShop for $7.99. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this review. And if you'd like more information or ideas of indie games worth checking out on Switch, be sure to click on the link provided in the description. Until next time.